3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you feel max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7. Okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear 7. Cape is go. We're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78,100. Cabin pressure holding steady at 5.8. Amps is 2.6. All systems are go. Indicating 6 Gs. Roger, 0 G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7. You have a go. At least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0 G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit. And preparing to take Xylos pill at present time. This is Friendship 7. The head movements cause no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine. Reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0 G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
John, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90,100, oxygen is 75,100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what it would appear to be a haze layer up some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side.
Everybody, welcome to the stream. It is 7:30 p.m. and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about 30 minutes. Just a quick little 30-minute hangout. Got a little bit of a headache. I've been up since about 2 in the morning. Woke up, couldn't get back to sleep. Ended up reading a couple chapters of Ahsoka, getting out of bed at like 3:30 in the morning, making some videos and shit like that. So I'm pretty goddamn exhausted. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to see you. Let me know, as always, if the music is a little too loud. The first super chat came in before the stream even technically began. Jai Wilkins, thank you so much for coming in with the first super chat and channel support of the stream, man. I greatly appreciate that. Jai says, "Hi, Greedo. Have you played XCOM before? Recommended." I never have. I'm familiar with it, but I've never played it. No, that's let me Google it, actually. Let me see. I've never played any of them. XCOM 3, is that? XCOM 3 is XCOM Apocalypse? Is that right? No. XCOM 3 question mark. XCOM. Oh, so XCOM 3 doesn't exist. Is that right? No. Okay. So nope, I've never played any of them. Those are games that I know my buddies have played before, and I don't know why I never tried them out with them. I'm trying to think. XCOM 2. XCOM 2 came out in 2016. Okay. So, nope, I've never played it. Don't know really much about it. Just from these vague screenshots that I'm looking at, it looks familiar. Let me look. Let me see something. What is it? What's the description of this game? XCOM 2 is a turn-based tactics video game developed by something something games and published by 2K Games for Microsoft Windows. The game is a sequel to 2012's reboot of the series XCOM Enemy Unknown. Oh, it's turn-based. I actually didn't know that. Interesting. That, you know, Jive, to tell you the truth, turn-based games rarely do much for me, and I usually try to avoid them. That being said, I guess the closest to turn-based that I get is like the VAT system in Fallout. That's really the closest that I get. I've never played like a Final Fantasy game. I've never played... I'm trying to think of a game that had turn-based mechanics that I really, really like. Other than like South Park, those two South Park games, The Fractured Butthole and Stick of Truth, right? Those were turn-based, and those were just silly. You know, I could get past the turn-based stuff, but oh, it has Star Wars mods. Interesting. But nope, never played it. It's always been like I see it on Steam and shit like that. I recognize the cover art and the screenshots, but never have, man. Maybe one day I'll check it out. But I appreciate that super chat, man. I greatly appreciate that. Let me see. I'm not fully set up. Here we go. All right, there we go. But welcome, guys. Some amazing Star Wars mods for Clone Wars and Star Wars on Steam. Super easy to mod and very, very fun. XCOM 2 2016. Okay, maybe that'd be kind of fun to stream at some point. Do some Star Wars mods for XCOM. Maybe one day. How's the Ahsoka novel going for you so far, Greedo? Murray Newbet. I really dig it. I've really enjoyed it so far. My Kindle, I believe it said I'm 59% through with it this morning. When I was reading a couple chapters. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I really like the first half of the book and just kind of how the pacing of it, and we follow Ahsoka along as she's kind of, you know, in hiding and just kind of, I don't know, but just playing an outsider in a town of outsiders, I suppose. It's really good so far. I definitely recommend it. You know, I haven't finished it. Like I said, 59% through according to my Kindle. But so far, it's been a pretty damn good read, for sure. What is your favorite drink, Greedo? Just in general? If you're talking like beer, I'll go with stouts or brown ales usually. If you're talking just regular drinks, if I'm just going to have like something refreshing, man, to tell you the truth, I haven't literally, you can hear it, probably. You can hear it. I have a 32-ounce Nalgene. I have multiple 32-ounce Nalgenes, and I drink about 3 of them a day. So I drink a lot of water throughout the day. I think it's just from, I don't know why. Hydrating in the Navy. I don't know, maybe. But I'm going to go with like a green apple Gatorade. If I'm looking for something that's not water, I'll do like a green apple Gatorade. That's kind of my that's my craving when it comes to not water. But yeah. Christopher, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, Moth. I greatly appreciate that, man. Hey man, what's your camera setup, body and lens? So I have a Canon 60D. The lens that I have on it right now is I think it's a 1022. It's a wide angle lens. Yeah, that's the one I have on right now, the 1022. I also have an 18 by 135 that I pretty much... The 18-135 is a really good, versatile, just kind of camera lens that, you know, it pretty much does anything that you want other than major wide angle, you know. The wide angle I use for kind of some freelance stuff that I do, and I use it for videos. It's great for videos in a small space because, the green screen that I have is pretty small, and the wide angle lens kind of allows me to, it makes sense. But, so I have a Canon 60D, with a 10x22 lens and an 18x135 lens, and I have another lens that I never use. Let me gotta take my headset off. Let's see what this one is. And this other lens that I have, dude, I haven't used this probably since I was out west. This is 100x300, so it's a pretty good zoom on it, but I rarely need anything like that, but so that's my setup. I use the Canon 60D for both video and the freelance photography that I do. And it does the job, I've had it for about 5-6 years now. But yeah, thanks, man. I'm in the market for camera. Looking around, the Nikon D610 has my eye right now. I've never owned a Nikon. There's nothing against. I have nothing against Nikon. It's not like no matter what you pick, people bitch and moan. You should have bought the Canon. You should have bought the Nikon. You should have bought the Kodak. You should have bought the Pentax. You should have bought the. They're just as good cameras for sure. I haven't been in the market for a camera in a very, very long time, so I can't really give my 2 cents. I've just always shot on Canon because that's kind of what my dad's always shot on too, and he's a big photographer. So I just kind of, asked him what I should get, and he just kind of told me. But yeah, best of luck to you, man. It's I'm sure it's daunting at first, but once you get to a certain price range, they pretty much all do the same thing, and some of the bells and whistles you might not even need unless you want to get a little experimental with things, but we'll see. But I appreciate that support this evening, man. Found a cool Shadows of the Empire book today. Bought it. Nice, Will. I wonder if it's the same one that I got. I have a old Shadows of the Empire book that I got. Let me see if there's more than... Let's see. Shadows of the Empire book. Yeah, this is the same one. I wonder if it's the same one you got. I have a Shadows of the Empire book that I got like when I was in... I don't know. Elementary school, maybe? Early middle school? At a book fair. Pretty awesome, for sure. Pretty awesome. Ganja Club, have you seen the concept art for a new Star Wars land called Lucas World? Yeah, I did see this. Community seems to forget what engineering construction is and how long it could take. Yeah, that's kind of what I first thought when I looked at this. The Lucas World. It's the size of this. It's a cool concept. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make fun of it or anything, but I'm thinking of it logistically, like you are. I'm thinking of Batu is a living, breathing world. And if you had a Lucas world like that with just multiple planets taking place in all sorts of different eras and whatnot, to me, and maybe this is just me, it would feel junky. These parks and these areas of parks, no matter if you're at Universal or Islands of Adventure or Disney, these theme parks that kind of tailor worlds to franchises, they do a fantastic job of like blocking stuff and hiding stuff in the background. And if you just had like Tatooine mountains and Hoth rolling hills and giant ATSTs in the background, it would all look so silly and mashed up and junky, in my opinion. And obviously, it's just kind of funny. Like, I don't know, man. From what I've seen and read, I went down a rabbit hole yesterday of like people complaining about Galaxy's Edge, and the common thread there was that those people hadn't been. And I'm not saying you gotta go, because I don't give a fuck if you go or not, but like, it's very interesting to hear people complaining about it that, you know, they haven't been. You hear stories, and when I was there, you see the interaction and the kids having a blast. Like, there's spies in the park that will sneak around with your kid, and you'll have to steal first order plans and stuff like that. It's a living, breathing world that you step into. It has a story, the characters you can interact with, and it's evolving with the canon, and it's so neat. It's a neat creative decision. You're in a movie. You're not in Six Flags with a bunch of junky-ass different lands all around, and there's Tatooine, there's Hoth, there's Endor, and there's every other fucking planet you've ever heard of in Star Wars. Cool. It's a living, breathing thing. I don't know. I would much rather have it the way it is. And that's not to say that I'd much rather have it be Batuu, because I don't give a shit about Batuu. I just like the narrative that's around it. It could have been Tatooine, it could have been Hoth, it could have been anything. I would much rather it be what it is than a mishmash of a bunch of different shit. It was like a Jackson Pollock painting of Star Wars, where you just fucking throw a bunch of shit at a piece of paper, and okay, there's Hoth, there's Tatooine, there's Felucia, there's Endor, there's every single planet we've ever heard of. But yeah, anyway. Caretaker One, and thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Just finished with an episode of Mystery Science Theater, and now listening to an HG Hangout stream. The day is good. Nice, man. I haven't seen... Are you talking about the newer ones? I haven't seen any of the newer ones with, shit, what's his name? This music is loud, isn't it? Is it too loud? I'm trying to think what was I going to say. Oh, yeah, who's the... Oh, God, his name starts with a J, right? The guy who hosts the new one? Patton Oswalt's on it. Is he the host? He's not the host, right? Isn't it another guy? What's his name? The original ones. Jonah. Is that right? Jonah? I don't know. The original ones, found some DVDs of them in the house and just watched one. Nice, man. I haven't thought about or seen Mystery Science Theater in so long. Probably the last time that I watched one of those is around the same time that I last watched an old, like, episode of Tales from the Crypt. Do you guys remember Tales from the Crypt? I used to watch that late at night. It was just goofy, you know. It was just very silly, but yeah, that sounds like fun, man. I would like to go back and revisit them. They're silly. They're very silly. Just kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like YouTube before YouTube, you know, podcast before podcast, kind of hanging out and like bullshitting about what they're watching. It's commentary, you know. It's interesting. It's interesting though. But yeah, but I appreciate that, Caretaker. Yeah, sit back, hang out a little bit. I got maybe 15 minutes or so until I gotta jump off and make some popcorn and go to bed. I am so tired. I've been up since about 2 in the morning. Woke up, couldn't get back to sleep. Started reading some Ahsoka. Got out of bed at like 3:30. Started working on some videos. I drank like 8 cups of coffee before my wife even woke up. And just like, I'm ready for some sleep, man. But I appreciate that, Caretaker. When we repost today's video, probably tomorrow, I re-rendered it, and it's still all these audio glitches, and I have no idea what's going on with it. So, yeah, if you're wondering why that video was deleted earlier, it's because multiple audio glitches in it, and then at a certain point, the audio was just completely off to everything that was going on in the video. No idea why, but yeah. Chris Castro, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. I really appreciate the silent support, and I hope you're doing well, Chris. If you wanted to type a little message, I'll keep an eye on the chat for sure. But thank you so much for the channel support tonight, man. And Ryan Harp never made a deal with Kanji Club. Tell that to Conja Club. Take my money. Well, I appreciate that support, Ryan. Actually, it's funny that you do the Conja Club line. Actually, yesterday I brought up Force Awakens because my daughter loves Chewbacca. She, I might have mentioned this yesterday, but she loves Chewbacca, and it's not like I've sat her in front of the TV or anything like that. She doesn't watch TV. It's weird. Like, all these other kids will just stare at the TV like it's, I don't know, like they're staring at the Lost Ark of the Covenant, and my daughter just will glance at it and not give a shit. But I bought her a Chewbacca plush doll out of Galaxy's Edge. It's just like a cute little plush doll. And she'll drag it around with her all day and hug it and kiss it and stuff. And then I brought up The Force Awakens and showed her little bits of Chewbacca, and the part of Conja Club happened. And I was just like, oh man, I want to watch this movie again. It's just such a fun, it's so goddamn fun. It's a really, man. And watching it just kind of like, I'm sure you have this too, Ryan, watching The Force Awakens, you kind of get flashbacks of just kind of being super hyped, you know, leading into that movie. What's this gonna be? New Star Wars? How's it gonna feel? What's it gonna all be about? What are these characters gonna do? Is this crazy? But yeah. Anyway, Ryan, I appreciate that, man. And I hope you're having a good one. Do you like to draw? I used to. I used to draw quite a bit. It's been a long time since I've drawn anything. Unless you count like computer drawing and then Illustrator, stuff like that. Then yeah. But yeah. The Force Awakens, the Greedo commentary live stream. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. Elijah, I haven't had a film experience like TFA since Revenge of the Sith came out. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Elijah. Like, I have memories of watching The Phantom Menace in the theater. I have memories of watching Attack of the Clones in the theater. But out of those prequel memories, the Revenge of the Sith theater experience for me was the best out of all the prequels. Me and my buddies dressed up. And yeah, and then The Force Awakens leading into that was just kind of the same vibe, you know, equal excitement, just super pumped. I'm with you there though, for sure. And I don't know if I don't know if I'll ever feel that level of hype again. As I've said before, for maybe 2 years now or so, that level of hype is when we're kind of inundated and we're constantly being fed new Star Wars stuff. And I'm not complaining, but my hype meter kind of is a little subdued just because we got a lot of stuff coming out. I am super pumped for episode 9 more than anything, but after episode 9, I don't know how hyped I'm going to be for stuff, because I don't know how long we're going to have to wait. I don't know if things are going to be coming rapid fire. You know, it's just a lot of unknowns, and I kind of hope they take a pretty long break. Just to kind of give some time between trilogies, time for the franchise to breathe, find its footing again, and make it, because for me, Star Wars is always about a waiting game, and waiting is almost as fun as seeing the movie. The hype is almost as fun as seeing the movie, you know. But yeah, you would think that I would want a new movie every month so I could just constantly pump out videos. No, I will sacrifice video making for the hype. Xander, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being a Fleet member. I like your videos when you talk about old games, especially the N64 Star Wars games. You have any other favorite N64 games? Mine are Perfect Dark and Conker's Bad Fur Day. I've actually never played either of those games. I'm familiar with them, Xander, but I've never played either of them. But other than, like, Shadows of the Empire and Rogue Squadron and stuff like that, Star Wars games on the N64, I played Wave Race a ton. I can still feel the way that game felt as you're bobbing and bouncing in the water on your jet ski. I loved that game. That was such a good... It's hard to explain, you know. Sometimes there's games that just feel good. Wave Race is one of them. I played a lot of, like, San Francisco Rush and Cruis'n USA on the N64. I also played, obviously, a lot of GoldenEye like everybody else. A lot of Mario. What else did I have? Turok. I'm completely drawing a blank. Oh yeah, Ocarina of Time. I'm trying to, like, picture, because I have all my games out in the garage right now in a big plastic bin, and I'm trying to picture what games are in there. Ah, man. But yeah. Episode 1 Racer. Yep, I have it out there too. I don't really have vivid memories of playing it that often, though. Not as much as Rogue Squadron or Shadows. Dun, 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 dun. Any Rareware stuff? Let me look. Didn't they... Oh, Banjo-Kazooie? Oh. Well, they made GoldenEye, I guess. Oh, yeah, Donkey Kong Country. Let's see. I don't know all that they've made. Let's scroll to the N64 era. Killer Instinct. Yep, I had Killer Instinct. GoldenEye, of course. Donkey Kong, blah, blah, blah. Banjo-Kazooie. Jet Force Gemini. I remember playing that. Donkey Kong 64. They made a ton. Star Fox. Oh, hell yeah. They didn't make Star Fox, though. They didn't make... Yeah, they didn't make... Did they make it for the N64? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so I played a ton of their games. I didn't realize that they were so... Wow, and they used to have a lot of games come out. Now they've just made Sea of Thieves in the past 3-4 years or so. Interesting. Oh. Take it easy, Eli. Good to see you, man. Nice, Matt. That sounds like heaven. Rare Replay on Xbox is a collection with a lot of those games in it. Oh, nice. I'm gonna look that up. Rare Replay Xbox. Oh, $17? That's it? $17? 30 hit games, one epic collection. Whoa. Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark. Battletoads. Huh. They definitely didn't pick the most popular ones for this Rare Replay. I mean, some of them are, but... I mean, that's so cheap that might be worth picking up and messing around with, you know? Huh. That's cool. What was that Avengers game that I just saw? Nintendo licensing kept them from... Oh, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. Greedo, what is your favorite game ever? Ryan. There's different categories, man. Like... So my favorite first-person shooter of all time, I think, is Half-Life 2. But then there's multiplayer games that are my favorite of all time that'll always just... And I don't know if I'll say they're my favorite of all time because, you know... I'm always liking different games more than other games, but the games that the games that influenced me more than any other games in my entire 33 years of existence is, well, obviously Mario, right? Duh. And then Half-Life 2, Ultima Online, probably Star Wars Galaxies as well. Are those kind of are the games that, you know, all-time favorites. All-time favorites. I miss playing Ultima a lot. Got any more podcast recommendations, HG? Good tip on Blockbuster. I actually, oh, what the hell's going on with my phone? There we go. I actually had to reformat my phone recently, and I completely forgot what podcast that I was subscribed to. I listened to, like, some NASA Houston. We have a podcast. It's kind of the what would you call it? I guess you would call it the official podcast of, I don't even know, NASA. I think it takes place in Johnson Space Center. That's where they record it from, I think. Other than that, like, I like listening to Sam Harris. He kind of a neuroscientist. Interesting conversations all over the place. Star Talk, obviously. There's a podcast that I started listening to called The Dark Side Of, and it's kind of just random stories about random things. Like there's episodes on Hollywood, and it's a relatively new podcast, but it's kind of interesting. The founding of Hollywood, the murder of different people, just, I don't know, it's interesting. Other than that, man, I haven't really been listening to very many, just because, yeah, whenever I have time, I usually am just trying to pump out some videos and write some scripts, you know. What's up, Mad Dog? Did you see the image you said to draw? I at you on Twitter. Oh no, let me see. Mad Dog. Let me see if I can find you. Mad Dog. What's your username? Let me see if I can do this. Mad Dog Hello Greedo. No, that didn't work. No, that didn't work either. I told you to draw the moon thing, right? Are you gonna watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Oh yeah, Xander. Me and my wife have a movie gift card that we've been saving since Christmas, actually. Yeah, we haven't gone to see a movie since Christmas. Dude, we haven't gone to see a movie since Solo. Just because, you know, baby daughter. Makes it a little difficult. But we're saving that gift card for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Definitely pretty excited. Did you get your Rogue Squadron game working yet? I got it working. I just can't get it minimized, and I can't get it to stream. Sucks. 19 seconds. There we go, Mad Dog. Where are we at? Why is that so small? Why can't I make it bigger? What is going on? Why is this? I can barely see it, Mad Dog. Let me see if I can do it this way. Did they change something? They completely changed the desktop. They completely changed the desktop look of Twitter, didn't they? How about I download it? Copy, link to tweet. Can I do it this way? Nope. Let me see. Add tweet to bookmark. Nope. Can you not save? This is really stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna get close to my monitor. I can barely see it. Why is this so tiny? I see Earth up there. Is that a bunch of satellites around Earth in space in ships? I'm gonna have to look on my phone where I can actually zoom in. Save as web page. I don't know what the hell. Did they change something with the Twitter look? This looks completely different on desktop now. From what I can tell, it looks cool. I'm gonna have to check it out on my phone though. That's plugged in. But I'll definitely look at it after the stream on my phone. I'll grab my phone and do that. Reposted it, not as blurry. Sorry about that. No. You're good. It's not. Oh, nice. Okay, that's definitely bigger or better. I don't know why I can't. Okay, how about I do? That's not even working either. That's so stupid, man. Oh, there we go. Okay, that makes it better. Nice. Oh, I see a little robot in the bottom right corner. One of those little DARPA robots. A couple of them, like walkers. I dig it. Is that a habitat? Is that like a domed habitat? I like it, man. I see Earth up at the tip top. Oh no, is that the moon? Ah, I see. Are those space stations and stuff like that all around it? I like that. Some of my favorite stuff, Mad Dog, is like if you look up like 1950s, 60s, that kind of, I don't know, that retro future look. I love looking at what people thought the future would look like. You know, the turn of the century. I love looking at what people thought the future would look like. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's a cool drawing. Have you seen the first two John Wick movies? I've only seen the first one. Bum 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 bum. I find Lego games a bit boring without dialogue. I wish Harry Potter Lego series had dialogue. Yeah, some of the newer ones that I've played, they're a little more kind of animated and fun and a little more fast paced with some of the quote unquote dialogue sections. You know what I mean? But some of the older Lego games are kind of like slow and I know they're supposed to be silly, but they're like boring silly. I don't know. I'm a little with you there. The newer ones are definitely better, I think, in the way they do that. I like the fact that they don't have dialogue. It kind of reminds me of The Sims, but the way they thought the future would be is so ridiculous, Angela. Yeah, it's definitely an optimistic future, right? That's what's interesting when you look at kind of the past of what they thought the future would look like. It's very optimistic. After World War II, the space race is kicking in gear. People's imaginations are just, I don't know, running wild, and people are optimistic about the future. And what kind of futuristic movies do we have now? For the most part, they're kind of post-apocalyptic, right? Like, the modern view of what the future looks like is pretty grim, and it could be pretty realistic. Probably is pretty realistic in pockets, but it's interesting to see that huge kind of cultural shift of what people think the future is going to be. It's interesting. .9/11 probably an influence. Yeah, maybe. Or just, I think some of the biggest influences is probably just kind of the realization and the maturity of our species to recognize what we're doing to the only home we've ever known. I think a lot of the kind of grim outlook of the future has to do with kind of the fact that we're completely destroying the rainforests. We're basically pouring a bunch of paint on something beautiful. Well, yeah. Anyway, I got to get going, guys. But it's always fun to do these hangout streams for sure. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? The video that I uploaded today and had to delete because of a bunch of audio glitches, that will hopefully be up tomorrow if I can figure out those glitches. I rendered it again and it was still having the same issue, so I might have to just completely... Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not gonna have to remake it. I have no idea what's going on with it. But anyway, guys, what's everybody? How old everyone is? Oh, I'm 33. All right, guys. Tomorrow is Wednesday. God, I got something going on Wednesday. I can't remember what it was though. Shit. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway. Alright, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out for a little over 30 minutes. Close to 40 minutes. And let me run down the list. Ryan Harp, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Chris Castro, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Caretaker Wanted, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Christopher, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And Jai Wilkins, thank you for the super chat and channel support as well. Alright, guys. Until next time, I will see you tomorrow night for a little bit of Battlefront fun. How about that? Yeah, the book's not out yet. Hoping to record the final 3 chapters of the audiobook this week. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I'll knock one out, but yeah. Alright, guys. As always, have fun, be nice, keep kicking ass, and I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!